Hey, Spidey fans! In this episode of Movies Merica, I will go over this Spider-Man movie. Which Spider-Man? Which is you Spider-Man? You Spider-Man? I don't know. Okay, but hey, Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse. That's what I'll be going over in this episode. Okay, so don't be sad. Okay, just boogie on through this episode. Stay right here and check me out right after this intro. Okay, let's do it.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Hey there, my movie maniacs, my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica. And my spidey sense is tingling tonight because I am going to bring you a spoiler-free review of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yes, the latest movie in the Spider-Verse series of Spider-Man lore or properties, okay? So come on in, all right? Open that door, walk on in. The invite is ready for you. And kick back, all right? Jump in your beanbag chair, your Barca lounger, whatever, okay? And join me here for the spoiler-free review, if I could stammer that out.
Let's go, I'm bored, let's go.
Of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, okay. And I just want to start out with the synopsis of this movie, okay? Just to kind of give you a broad sense of that. And so it starts out as a sequel to 2018's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And we first get to see a little bit more of Gwen Stacy in this movie. She was in the 2018 movie, and she's known as like one of the girlfriends of Spider-Man, depending on like what Spider-Man property you're watching. Okay, so we have Gwen Stacy. And it starts out where she's part of this girl band called the Mary Janes. Mary Jane Watson, the Mary Janes, okay? And she's a little depressed, you know, because if you've seen the 2018 movie, you kind of get why she's depressed and that kind of thing. And then I believe after that, we get to see Miles Morales, and we're reintroduced to Miles Morales as a Spider-Man in this, and then his parents. His dad's like a lieutenant in the police force. We meet his mom, and then also Gwen Stacy's dad is like a police captain or something like that, and I think George is his name. So we meet him, and then the action of this Spider-Man movie kicks in from there because we're introduced to a Da Vinci version of the Vulture. The Vulture's the villain that was played by Michael Keaton in the Tom Holland Spider-Man Homecoming movie. But there's a bunch of iterations of the Vulture in Spider-Man comic books and that kind of thing. But we have a Leonardo da Vinci kind of era version of the Vulture that attacks the Guggenheim Museum, and Gwen Stacy as her Spider-Girl character has to kick in and try to defend the museum from that villain. And so I'm not going to go through the entire movie, but the main vibe I want to portray to you about what this movie is obviously it's a sequel to the 2018 one, and you just get more and more immersed into the whole multiverse concept. You get to meet a whole lot more characters. You met a lot of characters in the 2018 movie, but you're going to meet even more characters in this one. Some that were previewed during the end credits of the last movie. So, but yeah, and to that point with the 2018 movie, I highly recommend watching 2018 Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. even if you've seen it before, watch it again before seeing this movie, because so many more things in this movie are going to resonate with you if you do see that movie, particularly if you've never seen that movie, okay? If you haven't seen that 2018 movie, why are you watching this movie? It's a sequel to that, okay? And now this movie was originally going to be released back in March of last year, okay? But it was delayed, due to guess you know what, right? Now, one thing that has always occurred to me about these Spider-Verse movies here, 2 of them now, we're going to have a third one next year, is that there's been many attempts to just outright kill original comic book characters, okay, or the original look that the original characters, the creators of these comic book characters intended, okay? There's some stealing, some thieving, some sleazy, skeezy, stuff going on, okay? Almost said another word. So you'll have to excuse me if I can't help but suspect that these Spider-Verse movies are part of a larger initiative to kill off the Peter Parker Spider-Man. The Peter Parker Spider-Man we know in several Spider-Man properties, okay? And outright replace him with Miles Morales, okay? Who is not Spider-Man, okay? Let me make that perfectly clear. And you can disagree with me all you want. You're wrong. But you can disagree with me all you want. God bless you. Bless your little heart if you disagree with me. But Miles Morales is not Spider-Man. Period. Okay? And now you don't have the only let me back up a little bit. Now, if you remember, if you've seen the first movie, mild spoiler, they kill off the original Peter Parker in the 2018 movie. Okay, well, maybe not a mild spoiler, but hey, too late.
You blew it!
There's plenty of other things in that original movie for you to enjoy, so it's not the end of the world if you know that they killed off the original Peter Parker in the first Spider-Verse movie, okay? And the original Peter Parker that they killed off is the one that we know from Tobey Maguire playing him, Andrew Garfield, currently Tom Holland playing him. The only Peter Parker that's in the Spider-Verse movies, or in this latest Spider-Verse movie, is Peter B. Parker. But he is not that. Again, he's not the original Peter Parker played by Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, okay? He's a Peter Parker from an alternate universe, okay? And so, to reiterate, Peter Parker is and always will be the original OG, and as a result, is the true Spider-Man, okay? So, I think you get that's the point I'm trying to make, okay? Now, all that to say, I do like the Miles Morales character. I do like him. They portray him very well in these movies. He's a friendly, affable, likable guy. But I also have a long memory in this pesky thing called loyalty, okay? And I do like these Spider-Verse movies just simply because of their different tone and vibe. They're completely different than your Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, your Tom Holland movies, okay? But don't get it twisted that I think that these Spider-Verse movies are better than some other properties. They're not, okay? They're unique in their own right, but they're not better, okay? I watch these Spider-Verse movies, but make no mistake, I don't make an altar and pray at the altar of these Spider-Verse movies like it seems a lot of millennials and Gen Zers do. In regards to the animation in this movie, I have to say that I like the computer animation that you see in Toy Story or the Toy Story movies and say like the Super Mario Brothers movie better than the type of animation that we see in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This movie uses what's called stepped animation. That means that the animation doesn't change with every single frame, okay? You get characters that are held up for 1 frame, 2 frames, even 3 frames sometimes. And it gives the animation this jittery look, okay, the shaky kind of jittery look. And also they didn't use motion blur, okay, which compounds the problem, at least for me, it's not okay. It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay just because of the unique nature of what they're trying to do. I mean, I do admire them taking the animation risk. I mean, my hat off to them for that. And I will admit, sometimes it is eye-catching. You get the colors and the action do pop off the screen sometimes. Even with the screen that I was watching it on at the ghetto theater that I was watching it on. Okay, so I can't imagine what it's going to look like on some IMAX theater or an actual good theater as opposed to the ghetto theater I was at, or my TV that I have up behind me. Sometimes for me, this movie and the characters in it get a little too abstract, such as like the Da Vinci Vulture that I mentioned before, or the character of Spider-Punk in this. A little too abstract for my personal taste, but and again, though, I just prefer like the smoothness and the eye-catching look of that computer animation that you see, like I mentioned, in the Toy Story movies, The Incredibles, the Super Mario Brothers movie. That's just the way that I roll. Okay, with that. And I couldn't help but notice that there's a lot of people that agree with me on that. Doesn't mean I'm right, and it doesn't make them right. It's just there's a lot of people that couldn't help but notice the same thing I'm noticing, where they just prefer the traditional computer animation over this. And unfortunately, to the uninitiated, the type of animation that they use in the Spider-Verse movies is going to look to some like the animators of this movie were animators that just couldn't cut the mustard at Pixar or Illumination, which is far from the case. Okay, it's not the case at all. Okay, it's just that the animators in this movie, the creators, were going for something edgier and closer to the look of comic books. Different strokes and all that. Now, I gotta let you know, this show, of course, is spoiler free. But the show on Thursday night will be all spoilery, okay? You're going to get spoiled rotten on my Movies Merica spoiler warning show, which I'm going to go over Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, okay? Because that's how I roll. I do a spoiler-free review of a movie on Sunday, okay? And then the following Thursday, I do a spoiler-filled discussion live, on a live stream on YouTube and Rumble, okay? And that comes on at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's 6 Central, 5 Mountain, okay? And again, it's called Movies Merica. Forgot the name of it real quick there. Wow. Movies Merica, spoiler warning, okay? And like I said, that's a live stream, so I'm doing it live. We're doing it live, okay? Went all Bill O'Reilly on there for a second. Yeah, so with that, if you watch the show there on Thursday night, you can live chat with me, okay, through Rumble, through YouTube. If you live chat with me through YouTube, I can throw your live chat comment up on the screen, okay, if you so desire. So all you got to do is on Thursday, just go to my Twitter, at Movies Merica, okay? And you'll find the links to join my Movies Merica spoiler warning show right there, okay? Or you can search in Rumble for Movies Merica, and you'll see, probably not till Thursday, the Movies Merica spoiler warning show there. And then at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, you'll be able to actually watch it there. So now, word of caution, if you try to search for it in YouTube, since YouTube is a moronic platform nowadays, if you try to search for Movies Merica on YouTube, it's going to try to search for Movies America. No, okay? It is right below where you put Movies Merica, like what you actually wanted to search for. It's going to say, search instead for Movies Merica. Click that, and it'll actually search for what you wanted it to search for, but, YouTube does that because it's stupid, okay? And, all the more reason to watch on Rumble, because Rumble is the cool vibe, the chill place to watch, because they're totally uncensored, okay? They let adults be adults and decide for themselves what they want to watch, And so check it out on Rumble, okay? But again, yeah, you'll be able to live chat with me. You can ask me questions. You can say, hey, Van, I want you to talk about this, that kind of thing, okay? So, again, I want to see you at Movies Merica, spoiler warning, this Thursday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, 6 Central, 5 Mountain Time. I want to see you there. I just realized that I haven't done the best job at communicating to you that I do like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I like this movie, but one gripe I have about it is it's too long. There were several scenes, like a barbecue scene, and some of the chase scenes that could have been trimmed to keep this movie snappier and more exciting, just keep the flow going, right? And I remember thinking more than once during the numerous chase scenes that they don't have to cover every square inch of the planet Earth with this chase, okay? Now, creators need to stop thinking that 2+ hour runtimes are going to make their movie epic or just generally better, okay? Wrong on all accounts, okay? Now, let me take, for example, the movie Sisu, okay? That was a recent movie that was only 91 minutes and was excellent, okay? The movie Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. It was slim and trim and fantastic at a measly 92 minutes, okay? That movie kicked butt, and it wasn't this 2+ hour movie, okay? It's the content, as I'm sure you know. I'm not telling you anything you don't know already. It's the content of the movie that makes it great, right? And the content in this Spider-Verse movie is fantastic, okay? It didn't need to be 2 hours and 20 minutes long. Yeah, you heard me right. 2 hours and 20 minutes long to be that good. Trimming this movie would have gotten it a better grade with a lot of viewers, and I'm hearing that same thing that I originally thought from a lot of other critics and viewers and folks that I've talked about this movie with. I mean, the first Spider-Verse movie back in 2018 was under 2 hours. The composer for this movie, Daniel Pemberton, creates a fireworks display of a soundtrack for this. 1 minute, the soundtrack is upbeat with a hip-hop or a Latin flair. And then the next, it's like a pulsating, bass-booming synth. And then after that, Pemberton will drop like an ethereal, soulful melody to accommodate the tension with some release, okay? Because you've got a lot of tension in this, chase scenes, action, that kind of thing. And naturally, you're going to need some release, right? And so he features some ethereal, kind of soulful, more of that kind of music to help accompany the release. And now Daniel Pemberton also did the soundtrack to the 2018 Spider-Verse movie. So he's been around the Spider-Verse block, okay? Matter of fact, he's also going to be the composer on next year, 2024, next year's sequel to this, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, okay? Just some quick trivia. He's composed both of Aaron Sorkin's movies, so what, Molly's Game and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Also, just like in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, there's a lot of cool jams in this, a lot of songs in this. And the songs in this, particularly the ones by Metro Boomin, he's like a hip-hop producer, they're all banging, okay? They're all banging. And he also links up with acts like Sway Lee, Lil Wayne, Nav, 21 Savage, 2 Chainz, okay? And like the aforementioned Royce, Royce is another act that he links up with. There's a track that they title Calling that I like in particular. It's like a slower, smoother, rap-tinged ballad that features a boogie with the hoodie, okay, with that track. Again, that one's called Calling, okay? And then there's another track that I like even better called Am I Dreaming, again with Metro Boomin producing that. And he teams up with A$AP Rocky and Royce on that. And that Am I Dreaming jam is definitely hypnotic and haunting. Sup, my fellow movie maniacs, my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Good job for you. Good job to you for sticking around in this episode this long, all right? Hopefully I have been keeping you entertained, okay? And if you're still with me, I want to take this opportunity to ask you to subscribe to this channel and then like this video if you would, okay? And then also hit that notification bell down there. And that notification bell is going to notify you when there's a brand new, piping hot, sizzling episode of Movies Merica ready just for you, okay? And then also get in the comments down below. Get the comments, because I definitely want to hear from you, all right? I want engagement, okay? I want to hear comments, tips, some recommendations, maybe a movie that you want me to review, something like that. I really want to hear from you, okay? So that's in the comments section down below, okay? And then also, cannot be missed, go ahead and check tdpn.locals.com out, okay? That's our website that we have our videos and our blogs and our articles about movies and entertainment, drink recipes, hot button topics, politics, just all kinds of like fascinating, intriguing things for your eyeballs and your brain, okay, to check out. And it's presented in a way you won't get in any style like anywhere else, okay? Very unique, okay? And you'll know it when you're reading the articles or watching the videos. You'll be like, oh, yeah, Van was right. I'm not seeing this anywhere else, okay? So hopefully that tantalizes you to go to TDPN, as in Till Death Podcast Network. So tdpn.locals.com. And if you go there right now, if you put in promo code TDPN in the promo code box, you get a free month of tdpn.locals.com. And then after that, it's just a minimum of $3. $3 is nothing, okay? $3 is like a box of Little Debbie Nutty Bars, okay? And maybe some Twinkies, very, very cheap. I mean, we're talking about Van Ebert cheapskate prices, okay? So, and you're going to get all this great content for just $3 a month, and you can support us for more money than that if you like, okay? If you can appreciate content creators and trying to entertain and inform you, yeah, you can definitely support us with more of the green stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. Well, with that, hey, I've said enough. Let's continue on with the show. The voice acting in this movie is incredible, okay? You have Shameik Moore returning as the voice of Miles Morales. Now, I first saw Shameik Moore in the fantastic coming-of-age movie called Dope back in 2015. I think it was on Netflix, and it actually might still be on there. If you haven't seen Dope, definitely check it out. It's a fantastic movie. It's very entertaining. You won't be getting up off your couch while you're watching it. Then also Shameik was in the Netflix series The Get Down as Shaolin Fantastic. That's a series about like the origins of rap music, and it features like music from Nas. Okay, it's a really good series. I think it had like 2 or 3 seasons on Netflix. Definitely check it out if you're like at all remotely a hip hop or rap fan. Then we have actress/singer Hailee Steinfeld, and she voices Gwen Stacy, or basically also Spider-Girl, I guess. Now, I like Hailee Steinfeld the best in that Transformers movie, Bumblebee. She was excellent in that. And then also she was fantastic way back in the movie True Grit that she was in, playing like the little girl alongside Jeff Bridges and Matt Damon and Josh Brolin. It was a Coen Brothers movie. Now, like I mentioned before, I think the only Peter Parker in this movie is Peter B. Parker, and the B stands for like B-list or B-level. I think one of the creators of this movie gave them that moniker, or put the B initials, or maybe it was somebody else. But it's supposed to denote that this is a Peter Parker that's B-level compared to the Peter Parker that we know from Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland and such. And so Peter B. Parker in this movie is voiced by Jake Johnson from the series New Girl that I think was on Fox. I think that's a channel it was on. And then also Jake was in numerous movies like the Tom Cruise flop, The Mummy, and he was also in Jurassic World. Now, for me, a real standout performance in this was Oscar Isaac voicing Miguel O'Hara or Spider-Man 2099. Spider-Man 29, he's like a no-nonsense, zero-fun Spider-Man that still manages to have a biting wit but has zero time for sentimentality and emotional connections. He's all about brass tacks and the end justifying the means and all that, which puts him undeniably at odds with Miles Morales, okay? Someone definitely pissed on this guy's spiderweb, okay? And now Oscar Isaac, who again voices, this Spider-Man 2099 character, or Miguel O'Hara, Oscar Isaac's been in all kinds of movies, right? I personally liked him best recently when he played Duke Leto Atreides in Denis Villeneuve's Dune movie that came out in 2021. But also Oscar Isaac was in Drive with Ryan Gosling, Ex Machina, the Star Wars sequel movies, of course. Another movie called A Most Violent Year with Jessica Chastain that I liked him in. The Netflix movie Triple Frontier, which is okay. He was good in it, but the rest of the movie kind of sucked. And then, of course, many other movies and shows that Oscar Isaac has been in. Now, there are, of course, many characters in this movie and many performers that voice them in this, but there are just far too many of them for me to go all over them here. But I definitely encourage you to Google them, look them up, because there is a lot of talent voicing characters in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, okay? This is truly a star-studded voice acting behemoth of a Spider-Man movie. You heard right. It is brew review time, all right? I have a thirst that needs to be quenched, all right? So brew review time kicked in right at the right time, okay? So this week on this episode for this brew review time, we're getting a little taste of Texas, okay? More specifically, Austin, Texas, okay? The Stay Weird Austin, Texas, that kind of thing, all right? Or keep Austin weird, okay? And the reason I mention Austin is because I've got a beer from 512 Brewing that is in Austin, Texas, okay? And that beer is, and let me grab this bad boy for you so you can see, okay? Is the Nut Brown English Brown Ale. Hopefully you guys can see that right here. So it's an English Brown Ale, like I said, and it's got like 5.3 alcohol by volume, 5.3% alcohol by volume, okay? So it's it packs a little bit of a punch, okay, relatively speaking, compared to other beers, all right, compared to your your Bud Light from Anheuser-Busch, which you should never drink, Coors Light, that kind of Dos Equis. It's packs more of a punch than those beers right there, okay? And it's just got like this very slight pecan nutty flavor to it. Okay, I want to make sure I hold that up so you guys can see it. With just a little bit of a sweetness to it. And all that to say is it's fantastic. I like it. I dig it. I don't like all English brown ales. Some of them are too thick and syrupy. This one is not. Okay, they get that consistency just right. Okay, and again, as I always point out, I'm not getting any money from any of these breweries. Okay, now as far as you getting your hands on this, now if you're not finding it at like say like a alcohol specialty place, in your area or your grocery store or whatever, you could try like GoPuff.com. or Drizzly.com, I think is what it's called. Not getting any money from those websites either, okay? But yeah, pick yourself up some 512 Brewing, some English Brown Ale. I totally recommend it, okay? So I wouldn't be drinking it if you're outside, you're mowing the lawn, you want something to cool down with after you've, mowed the lawn. Nah, this is not the beer for that. That's more of a light lager kind of beer. But this has its has its time and place, that's for sure. Okay, so let me grab a drink of this here, because that time and place to drink it is right now instead of me yapping. Yes, yes. So good. All right, I'm going to save some for later, all right? Okay, that has been Brew Review Time. Apparently I'm drinking too much. I can't talk. Brew Review Time. Let's try that again. On with this review. The $1,000,000 question that a lot of people are probably asking, and a good question to ask about any movie, is this movie woke at all? Okay. Is this yet another woke after school special that just is posing as a movie? Okay. Well, slightly, a little bit, okay, little nuggets, but nothing too overt. Now, there is a support trans kid poster in Gwen Stacy's room towards the beginning of the movie, but the poster is so faded and they only show it for a second that it's easy to miss, okay? Now, the slogan of support trans kids to me is laughable, yet sad. Laughable because that slogan assumes that there's people out there that actually want to hurt trans kids or kids that are thinking / being talked into trans. There's not people like that out there. There's only people that simply do not want the trans ideology preached to their kids, or anything sexual for that matter, taught to their kids, at least not until traditional sex ed classes that you get in, what, if I remember right, like junior high, I think is when you get your traditional sex ed classes. Now, wanting that's not being anti-trans. That's just not wanting anybody to get sexual with your kids, okay? That's totally reasonable and actually quite disturbing if you're somebody that doesn't also want that, okay? You have to wonder about people that don't want don't want people getting sexual with their kids. Things that make you go, right? So also, of course, another nugget of wokeness in this is, of course, Miles Morales has a BLM sticker on his backpack, okay? BLM, that race-baiting sham organization that's really part of an overall effort to divide and destroy this country that we take all too much for granted, okay? Now, everyone originally knew BLM as Black Lives Matter, right? But when their true colors were slowly revealed, BLM really began to stand for buy larger mansions, right? Or burn, loot, murder. Now, BLM, they first started winning over moronic, non-critically thinking people over with that whole debunked hands up, don't shoot slogan or scam that they concocted with that Michael Brown killing in Ferguson, Missouri. That scam that was debunked by Barack Obama's very own Department of Justice, okay? Now, then, BLM received a gift for their initiative when George Floyd actually was killed. So that just handed them a gift in their efforts to divide and destroy our country. But ever since, the George Floyd killing, slowly but surely, BLM has been revealed to be nothing more than a scam operation to line the pockets of those that created it and are part of it, and also a scam organization that wants to divide and destroy this country. And they're prompted on by God knows who. I'll take an educated guess. I would guess somebody like Russia. I mean, who would want to divide and destroy America? Our enemies, right? So who are our enemies? Russia, China, North Korea, and others, right? I'm guessing Russia because Russia has had quite the head start on us. They've had decades. They've been a superpower for a lot longer than China or North Korea has, right? And there's even books out there from Russians and ex-KGB agents talking about how for decades they've infested our colleges and our schools and taught people crap like BLM believes in order to divide and destroy this country. So all that to say, my guess is Russia. Okay? Because they're such a great country. Okay? Well, their leaders are real scumbags. I'm not going to talk about the people there. So, of course, all that with the BLM stuff. So, of course, with that, the low information writers of this movie would, of course, put a BLM sticker on Miles Morales' backpack. To everyone watching or listening to this, you guys are my friends, my family, okay? And I want to do my friends, my family a solid and tell you about this great product called Nature Clear Recovery Powder, okay? And you may be asking, what is this product, Van? Well, what it is, it's a powder that you can take in order to prevent a hangover, okay? So I review beer on this. We talk about booze, that kind of thing. Well, this seems like an appropriate product, right? So it helps you avoid a hangover or outright like get over a hangover if you forget to take it, okay? And it just comes in these little packs like this, okay, that you just put in like 12 ounces of water or just a bottle of water or something like that, okay? And you just pour it in there and you just drink that before you go out, you know, if you're going to go out there and you're going to, you know, have too many tequila shots or, you know, drink too much of the nut brown ale, that kind of thing, and you don't want to have to worry about getting a hangover the next morning or later that night, just take some Nature Clear Recovery Powder, okay? And if you're out there and you're like 17 tequila shots in, you're like, oh my God, I forgot to take my Nature Clear. Don't worry, okay? Just take it when you get home, okay? Just grab your packet and pour it in some water when you get home and then, you know, slumber away and you won't have to worry about that hangover, okay? It also helps you recover from smoking and vaping as well. So it's the all-around Swiss Army knife of recovery, okay? Now, to get it, all you have to do is click on the link in the description down below for Nature Clear, and then just pick what you want, okay, on the Nature Clear website, get it in the shopping cart, and then in the promo code field there, type in promo code MOVIES, and you're going to get 25% off your first order, or your next order, I should say, with that Nature Clear Recovery Powder, okay? So, get yourself some right there. You know, I'm doing you a favor. You know, the drunk mind you save could be your own, okay? All right, let's get on with the review. My movie maniacs! My fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics, you're still here. Fantastic. Thanks for sticking around. And just let me take this quick opportunity to ask you to, again, subscribe to this channel, okay? And then like this video. Definitely just hit that like right there. And then also hit that notification bell to get notifications of, again, a nice, hot, piping, sizzling, brand new episode of Movies Merica when they're available, okay? And then also get in the comments down below because, again, I want to hear from you, all right? Just throw questions, comments to me, anything your heart desires, okay? And then also visit us at tdpn.locals.com for all kinds of great content, okay? Check it out. You know, give yourself a tantalizing experience for your mind, for your eyeballs, okay, at tdpn.locals.com, okay? All right, let's continue on. Remember how the late, great Jerry Springer always had his final thought at the end of each of his episodes? Well, I'm going to do something like that right now as I wrap up this episode of Movies Merica. And just let you know overall what I thought of this movie. So as you probably have guessed from listening and watching here, I am recommending you go check out Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It's pretty good. It's worth jumping in your car and checking it out on a big screen. Okay, I would definitely recommend watching it on the big screen. And the soundtrack is banging. The voice acting is superb. There's not much wokeness, just those couple of nuggets that you barely notice, if at all, in this, okay? So, hey, everybody, with that, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got a popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right. Thanks for watching.